Dear fellow coders, welcome to One Little Coder. In this video, we are going to learn about a new applied NLP technique called MACAW. MACAW is a question and answering model, and it stands for multi-angle question and answering. So in this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the theory of MACAW and then how can you use MACAW in your own code to create questions or answers. So first of all, what is MACAW? MACAW is an NLP model to be very simple, and it is from Alan A. Alan A is a very known name in the NLP world. And what does MACAW mean? MACAW means basically multi-angle question and answering, right? So what is this multi-angle? What is this angle in here? So this angle in here is that the flexibility that you have to handle different slots in input and output. Now what is a slot? A slot in this case, I think there are 5 slots. So the slots are here: question, answer, explanation, context, and multiple choice questions. So multiple choice options, sorry. So you have got question, answer, explanation, context, and MCQ, multiple choice options. So these are different slots, and these slots could be used in a lot of different way. For example, if you see this angle, this is from a question you're trying to derive the answer. So now this is, you have given a question, and then you have given like MC option, and then you are trying to come up with the answer. So here you have given a question, and then you are trying to find out an answer with an explanation. So these are like different angles that MACAW can handle. And in this example, they're specifically talking about MACAW's 11 billion parameter model. So now what is MACAW? So like now that you know, like it's an existing or ready to use model that is capable of generating question and answering on both the sides on different angles, and it has shown robustness even outside of the domain in which it is trained on, which means you can start using it like out of box. You can start using it for different domain now that you know these things. So MACAW is nothing but it's a model that's been built on T5. T5 is a very popular transformer model that has been open sourced by Google. Now MACAW comes at different sizes. So you've got a 11 billion parameter model, I think the largest, the 3 billion parameter model, and then you've also got a large model which is about 300 million, I think 300 million parameters. So if you're going to use it on your own computer, I would suggest that you should try with the $3 billion parameter model. Sorry, did I say 3 billion? I'm sorry. The 300 million model, which is MACAW large, because when I tried it on Kaggle notebook, this is what was compatible for me. So now that there are a lot of different examples how to do this thing, I'll leave it to you for you to check it out. So next we are going to move to Hugging Face Model Inference API. So Hugging Face Model Hub already has got MACAW thanks to Alan A. or whoever has put it here. That now you have got MACAW large, MACAW 3B also I think, and 11 billion also I think it is already available here, which means you can simply use your existing transformers library and then start leveraging MACAW without doing much change. The code is quite simple, but before even we get into the code, so let's try an example. So the example that I've got here is, for example, I've given an answer which says New Delhi is the capital of India, and I'm trying to generate a question, and the question is what? And when you try to compute it, I've got this answer. So you can already see that the question which is I'm trying to answer is, what is the capital of India? Maybe let's take one more thing as an example. So sky is in blue color. Okay, so maybe answer is sky is in blue color, and then let's see if we can compute question. Hopefully it works fine. So this is how basically it is. If you want to use it within transformers, you have to do the same thing what you have been doing before. So you can see this. So you just need a tokenizer. You have to download the model, initialize the model, download the model, and after that, very similarly, you have to define the input string here. And after you define the input string in such a way like how you are defining here, then everything else is what you do with your typical transformer. And it looks like it is also available as part of Auto NLP, Hugging Face Auto NLP, which I have not tried, but if you want to try, that is also available here. I think the good thing about MACAW, if you ask me, is the examples that they have given. So you can see the different slots available here and the details. But if you go to the examples that they have given, which they are calling the challenge 300 data set of probing questions, where you can also see the answers. I'm sorry, where is the example? Yeah, you can also see what are the different answers that you have got from different solutions. So it's not just, like there is a question, right? So if I put some cheese in the fridge, will it melt? What does Macaw 11b has said? What does Macaw 3b has said? What does Macaw large has said? And you can actually see what different models have said. So GPT-3, and they've given also the credit, which means like, which one has got the most perfect answer. So your 11, you can see, like you can go around this example and then see the $11 billion model. Why am I saying $11 billion? I don't know. The 11 billion parameter model is almost close, like your, the so-called or the most celebrated text generation model, GPT-3 DaVinci. But you can see in a lot of different tasks, the 11 billion parameter model actually works fine, which may not be easily available or accessible to anybody who wants to maybe like make it a web service or something. But the point is, Macaw is not, just some a random underdog. So it is a true contender in this space, and that's why you should look into Macaw, and that's why I'm also making this video for you to know. So after we make this thing, so the question is now, the sky is in blue color, which statement explains why the sky is in blue color. So it was probably going to generate that statement, but it didn't generate, we stopped it. But you can get the point. Like if you have a question, let's say like if you have a question, let's say what is the color of rainy clouds, maybe, and then you can put like this, and then you can look for answer. Or if you want, let's say multiple choice questions, so you can options, then you can do like this. I think MCU options. So let me go see what is the syntax for options. Yes, MC options. So you have got a slot called question, answer, MC options, context, explanation, and then it should, so you have got different options. You've got gray, white, and black. So if you say what is the answer, so maybe like you would also get the answer, and also you would get the options. So if you do this, answer is gray, and then we have truncated the text, otherwise you would also get this thing. So basically this is how it works. You specify the question, you specify the answer, you specify the options, you specify context and explanation, like based on which angle you want it to be, question to answer, answer to question, M to AM, like whatever you want. Okay, so now you know Macaw, how to use Macaw, and how efficient Macaw is. And my apologies, like if I'm pronouncing Macaw wrong. The only Macaw I know is like the bird, and this is how I used to call it. But yeah, now our important job is like I've created a Kaggle notebook, which I would link into the YouTube description. Please check it out, and then let me know your comments how easy it is to use this Kaggle notebook. All I've done is I've came to Kaggle as the website, and then just created a new notebook thanks to the free computation that Google provides through Kaggle. So we have installed Transformers library. Make sure that you have internet on the settings, otherwise it may not work. So if you want to install a new library, make sure your internet is on. So install Transformers library, very successfully it is installed. So then from Transformers, import auto tokenizer and auto model for seek to seek LM. Then you have to initialize your tokenizer with the large model 300 million parameters model, and also initialize the model with your 300 million parameters model. And this would take a couple of minutes depending upon the computation that is available. So in this case, like you can see that it downloaded a 3 gig model. So if you try the 3 billion parameter, so it would probably take like a 11 gig model, and then your Kaggle machine that you have got, it maxes out at 16 gig, so which means it wouldn't work. So ideally you cannot use anything more larger than Macaw large on Kaggle, or at least you need Collabro or something like that for that. So now that we have defined our tokenizer, we have defined our model. Now the most important aspect, like what people call as prompt engineering, comes into this picture, which is where you define the input string. Like what is the input string that you are defining here? Basically that is going to play a very important role in what you are getting. Okay, so you have the answer, you have options, you have question, and then when you run this thing, we can see. So okay, so you define the input string, which is a string, and then just encode it, and then you generate the output, and you have to specify the maximum length so that you don't overflow, and output, and then finally decode it. So you have the answer as gray, and then you have got different options: blue, white, gray, and white. So what we can do is we can probably go to Wikipedia. Sorry. Let me search for something on Wikipedia. Maybe let me look for Australia, and let me get a fact about Australia. Australia officially the common. Okay, so let me get this as a text. Okay, and I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to say this is my question. This is my answer. Okay, so I'm going to say this is my answer. Okay, and now I'm going to say I want the question, and I don't care about options. Okay, so this is basically I've given the answer from a Wikipedia page, and you can see, and then I'm generating the question, and then let's see how it works. And it doesn't take a lot of time. Question: what is the official name of Australia? The official name of Australia is Commonwealth of Australia. So you can see that it has actually done a good job. So maybe you can run one more time and then see if it generates a different question now. I don't think. Yeah, what is the official name of Australia? So you can see that it does a good job. So maybe if I remove this thing and then try now, it should ideally probably create. Yeah, what is the main characteristic of Australia? I think it is like maybe if I look for the answer as well. So this is the answer, like Australia is a sovereign nation, like country, all these things. So you can see how you can change the angle. Like you can have an answer and then you can have a question as well. Like maybe instead of this thing, if I want answer for a question, like I can just go and then maybe I can say, okay, the question is which one is better, Vim or Emacs? Okay, like the age-old question that the computer scientists always fight for, computer programmers. And then you can say, oh, it says Emacs, and maybe just flip it and see if it does a different job. And then you can see, oh, it still sticks to Emacs. That's amazing. So you can actually see how it works. So you can change the angle, and you can still generate question or answer depending upon what is the angle and what are the slots that you are trying to fill in. And if you want some context as well, like for example, let's say like I don't just want a question, I also want some context. So I can now say, give me some explanation, maybe. Yeah, explanation of why this is, and run this and then see what it says. So ideally it should say the answer. Vim is a kind of a text editor, Emacs is a kind of a text editor. Text editors are used for creating documents. I think it doesn't make a lot of sense, but again the point is it works, and all you have to do is iteratively play around with the options a couple of times, and then that's what prompt engineering is, right? So at this point of the video, if you're trying, so if you didn't watch the theory part at the start, I'll link this Kaggle notebook in the YouTube description. All you have to do is go to this Kaggle notebook. Let me even save it, right? I don't want to save and run. I'll just say quick save. So all you have to do is you have to go to this link. You will see a copy and edit option. All you have to do is copy and edit, and then you would get this thing. Just run all the cells top to bottom and then play around with your values. So like I said, you have got question, answer, multiple choice options, context, explanation. You can read more about it. You can read more about it here in this page, which also I will link in the YouTube description just below the like button. And if you want to like the video, please go ahead and like the video. But just try it out. It is really awesome, and I'm really thankful to Alan AI and Hugging Face for an open source product to be really good, that competes with something like OpenAI that has been licensed only to Microsoft, and you can use this service for free. You can wrap it as, let's say, an API for free. You can do enormous things using this service, and and this multi-angle stuff is like really cool, right? So I'm not probably, at least from whatever I have seen, I've not seen such a model that is very easy to use, with a lot of flexibility, how I can fill in the slot and what all things I can change. But this is amazing. So please give a try, just simply using this Kaggle notebook, or you can use Google Colab as well. Let me know in the comment section if you have any thoughts. Otherwise, I hope this applied NLP tutorial was really helpful to you in discovering something new that you have not seen before, and also to upgrade your NLP skill and knowledge. Any other thoughts, let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, I hope you stay safe, and then give me a thumbs up.